So my mom gets People magazine. She's been getting it since the invention of People magazine. When she used to get it back in I think they began in the 70s. What she used to love about People magazine was that it was about everyday people like you and me. And then somewhere along the line, they turned into another celebrity magazine. So I was getting the mail, and this month's People magazine, I was eager to open back up the internet and look for the things that I know are there. And what happened was a lot of that shit disappeared, mostly from Google, but I feel like it affected a lot. Google owns YouTube, so there was a couple purges there targeting certain types of information that they were taking down, and all along Google as a search engine was doing the same thing. Everything was affected. Primarily use Yandex, and I use DuckDuckGo on my phone, but even on some of those sites, I'll just say for now, I know that Google is hiding certain information. I don't know. I'm not a forensic analyst. I'm just saying the internet's changing, so it's getting a little harder to do research. So I tried to go in the Wayback Machine, and it seems to get stuck for me, almost like it's taking hours to render, and I don't think that's normal. What I was trying to find was a compilation of her most problematic deleted tweets. I kind of wanted to put it back up. So you remember back when past offense was happening. I don't want to get flagged. I feel like it's almost a dirty word for the internet, so I'm just going to say past offense. There's a lot of truth in that, and there's also a lot of misinformation on that. Are there celebrities that are predators? Yeah, absolutely. Why is that so hard for people to believe? Are there women that are predators? That's even harder for people to believe. I don't know if they just can't swallow both pills at once, but listen to some of these Chrissy Teigen tweets that she deleted. Now, she deleted 60,000 tweets in total. They were brought up against her, so she would do a sweep, and then she did another sweep, I think that was like 23,000. That was her last. So I'm going to start reading them now. I know what parents go through when they are forced to tie their kids up in the basement. You have to do it, but it's icky, am I right? In 2011. She tags someone, Kevin Shockey, I don't know who that is, but she says, nah, he just said the cleanest and best pleasure is to have sex with a 13-year-old. Up until that, ha ha ha. So I don't know who she's referencing, but she's talking about a pedophile. 2012. It always weirds me out how strong little toddlers' tummies can look, and I am aware of how absolutely disturbing that sounds. Hashtag TCAP. That was in 2011. At one point, she also says that she's going to dress up as a child from Toddlers in Tears as a Halloween costume. A lot of people thought that was inappropriate. Gee, what part of this could possibly be inappropriate? This grown-ass woman acting and dressing as a toddler holding a pixie stick. Nothing about this is creepy at all. Yeah. She says, a little boy in the pageant now, finally some eye candy for me. That was back in 2011. In 2012, I remember this one being really shocking because this was when the rumors started to go around about pizza meaning something inappropriate. This is when people were starting to learn about FBI codes and symbols. I woke up this morning with a pizza on my chest and ranch dressing all over me. So if you think I'm too good for this, you are sadly mistaken. I was getting a little shoddy about the timeline. What I really meant to say was that at the time, people were bringing up these tweets. Now, I put this around 2016 just because that's as far back as my awareness goes to past offense. I do remember that timeline because I remember everything by how I felt, because emotions were running very high in 2016. A lot of information came out too late, in my opinion. But when this stuff was fully coming out, because I was invested, man. I listened to many different people, researched many different things, checked many different facts, and it's not just a silly conspiracy. I see that there's something going on. I realize the news makes it sound absolutely ridiculous. Like, they just make it sound like over the top and insane. But there's a lot of truth, like I said before. A lot of truth and a lot of misinformation. So it's really dicey. You got to be careful. So when you Google Chrissy Teigen tweets, this is the first result that comes up. This is the kind of shit that I'm talking about, you guys. Don't use Google. That was an accident, me typing it in there. So the top result says, the accusations always harken back to a 2011 satirical tweet by Teigen about the show Toddlers and Tiaras. The tweet read, "Seeing little girls do splits half naked is just, I want to put myself in jail." This tweet is an indictment of the sexualization of little girls, not a condoning of it. Chrissy Teigen isn't a child-eating pedophile, you gullible... Did Chrissy Teigen delete? Okay, so basically, Google has hidden all of this information, you guys. I did not mean to look it up there. Is the index compromised too? Chrissy Teigen debuts pink hair. That's what... See, this is the whole reason I wanted to do way back. Okay, so there's no problems with it, right? So why am I having a problem? So I just went to a random skit from Saturday Night Live, and it says, sorry, the Wayback Machine does not have this video. And then it gives me some weird code, archived or not indexed yet. Same thing here. Sorry, the Wayback Machine does not have this video archived or not indexed yet. But that's its job. What do you mean it doesn't have it? I remember showing my mom this. My mom's mind was blown. She wouldn't have believed a lot of the things that I've told her unless I literally showed her at the time. So it's kind of funny when you live through something and then the internet tries to delete all history of that thing. It's very strange. I mean, I guess I should just get comfortable with being gaslit because that's all that they've been doing lately. But there was also a graphic to go along when she tweeted out to someone, I don't know who, but she was, I guess, having a conversation with this person about tattoo ideas. And she tagged him in a picture of a tattoo. I mean, I probably can't say this, but the tattoo was of a adult hand holding a baby genital. It was, I don't know how to talk about. See, this is what they do. They do something extreme that makes you have to react. Like, they want you to react. They want your attention. When someone tweets out a picture of a baby penis, they want you to react. So you react, and then they act like you're the crazy one. It's like mind control / gaslighting, and we have to see it for what it is now. The whole time, they've been trying to make the public like her. They've inflicted her on the public, is how I feel about her. Also, I feel fucking stupid for not knowing that Toddlers and Tiaras, that there's only basically one reason that people watch that shit. Well, I'm sorry, there's two reasons. The first reason is to mock it and to make fun of it, which that's horrible too, but kind of for the same reason that I watched Dance Moms, and basically to see the worst of humanity, like to see how fixated the parents were on their kids winning was just like really fucked. There's a lot of very talented YouTubers that are able to condense a lot of information in a short time. And I try to edit myself down as much as possible, but honestly, it's just very hard. I have a lot to say. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I'm sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, so she first starts talking about pizza in 2011, it seems. She also is the first to start talking about the Illuminati. She claims to be in it in 2010. I'm not sure when this happened, but she also says that she would eat a bite of human flesh if someone told her that she could only eat turkey, or she would have to eat this bite of human flesh, that she would eat the human, which is like not that controversial, but like it is when you combine it with all the rest of her tweets. I'm going to jail over pizza was in 2013. Gotta wonder about that, because she is still mouthing off about the pizza after that. And I don't know if she was ever put in jail, but I was talking to a friend of mine who paid way too much for a People Finder site, which did get good reviews by the Better Business Bureau. So we've been checking out some people, and God, I don't even know what they are. They're just like criminal actions in her name. They are, to me, they look suspicious as hell because they don't really say what they are.
So they start back in 2004, February, and I've searched these dates. I've searched the case numbers, everything, and they act like it's not there. I've searched almost every California court website. Another strange thing I find is these numbers are not lining up when it says charges filed 7 days before the actual crime took place. Offense date 28th. That's a little bit strange, but I also read that charge date, all those things can mean different things in different jurisdictions. So not that suspicious, but what really is suspicious is the fact that they're not telling you what the classification is on some of these even. They're not telling you any details of what was done wrong. They're all just big fat question marks, as you can see here. There was one code in particular, and it said VC. It was obviously a vehicle code, but that was the only way that I could match up what it actually was, because it was written down wrong. It was written so that I had to subtract some letter from the beginning of it so that I could find what charge it was. And that was the only vehicle charge. The rest don't say VC. They say abbreviations that don't exist. I've searched. So there's really no clue as to what the rest of the crimes are about. But it did kind of make me go back through her life and see exactly kind of what happened. I mean, that's a lot of non-specific charges from 2004 to 2008. Now here are some of the visuals I was lucky enough to find after searching the World Wide Web for quite some time. There's some people that want to tell the truth still. Also, I always think of this. I always go back to this moment where Obama gave this key group of like elite celebrities known for right here. I just did some digging into the Medal of Freedom, and that is a whole nother topic for a whole nother video. Just some general notes that I took down corresponding to the years that the arrests or whatever they were took
Whatever
place.
Chrissy Teigen is trying to be known for now, or however People magazine is trying to portray her story, I'm sure it's a story that makes her very sympathetic in the eyes of the public. I'm sure it's something that makes people completely forget anything that they thought they might have remembered, especially once they wiped it from Google, because they know most people use Google as their main search engine. We all know you shouldn't do that, right? Because I often do see a lot of YouTubers using it, and I do recognize that there are some reasons for using it, but why is it that every time I see a YouTuber person that researches, they seem to be doing it on Google? Because Google owns YouTube. I wonder if you have to use that as your search engine when you are researching. You can't just omit certain pieces of history. I was trying to talk to a friend of mine about Isaac Kappy, and
I do believe that this video that came out after Cappy died was his dead man switch, and I also believe that it's under Epstein's temple.
That's the first thing anybody does when you tell them about a name or something. They usually look them up. And unfortunately, I don't know what the hell they did to his name now. I mean, people said he was a bad actor, but like, if he didn't care, I mean, truly care about all of this, then he was a really phenomenal actor, because I watched all of those videos and I can just see that he cared about this stuff. And I can see that he put his heart and soul into the music that he composed, because that is the genius of Isaac Cappy. People don't want to listen to somebody go on and on and on like I do sometimes. People would much rather listen to a little entertaining quip, like a joke, or in his case, songs. Really engaging, funny, catchy songs. You would then, these things would be stuck in your head. You would know that Epstein is an Israeli Mossad spy. And that is absolutely true, by the way. Like, I fact-checked everything myself. This is what you gotta do. You gotta fact-check yourself. You can't just go to Snopes. You gotta fact-check yourself. Okay? When you hear something, it's just a jumping off point. It's just a jumping off point for research, and doing your own research is called fact-checking, not going to a fact-checking site and asking them, is this real? Like, why don't people just look for themselves? That's what I don't understand. I really don't understand it. Is this real? Hey, Balfie. Hey, honey. You want to come up? I actually just found one article that describes the 60,000 tweets going missing and her relationship to Epstein. I'll include that in the description. It says, last week, Teigen lashed out at people who believed that had made several trips on Epstein's private jet, creepily dubbed the Lolita Express. Chrissy Teigen has denied having any relations with Epstein and his mistress, Ghislaine Maxwell, yet continued to block 1 million Twitter accounts, delete 60,000 tweets, and make her profile private. Those are all signs of guilt, and her name was on the manifest for Epstein's plane. That's true. I have blockchained over 1 million people. 1 million people today. She puts it in all caps. Like, she's the one being attacked. You get where she's coming from? Blockchained over 1 million people today, and I am still flooded with sick psychopaths. So please spare me the just ignore them, they're just trolls, she tweeted. A lot of people were pissed, and I know I'm not the only one that remembers this shit. Although there is currently no proof that she is in any way connected to Jeffrey Epstein, you know, whatever. It's just a little ride on a private plane to an island known as Pedophile Island. Australian news really knows what's going on. Like, I love Sky News, but I really like Sky News Australia. So they put the tweets up and then they caption why they're strange for normie people that don't know. Okay, so I'm going to jail over pizza, and underneath it says pizza is allegedly a code word for illegal erotica depicting children. CP, cheese pizza. I think it's easy to put it in plain sight that way, and it's just simple. I mean, CP, we all know what that stands for, right? And then they pull up the tweet where she says, I am about to Anthony Weiner this kid from 2011. Girl, did you not think any of this was going to come out and you were just not going to get caught? Okay, so underneath that it says Anthony Weiner, also known as Hillary Clinton's right-hand man, served 18 months in prison for inappropriately texting a minor in 2017. I just saw a baby that looked like a porn star, like a trashy do-anything porn star. Is this wrong to think? Question mark. Yeah, it is, Chrissy. They pull up the one that she wants to watch kids give birth, you know, making jokes out of it. Because you know what, MTV, you're not too far off there. But you're going too far because, like, you're exposing your own peeps. Like, she just does not know when to shut her filthy mouth. Sorry, Trump was right. Like, all he said about her is that she has a filthy mouth, and she does. You know what? A lot of people think they can make jokes out of things. They think they're so funny. But you can't joke around about pedophilia, man. We're gonna catch it when you put it in plain sight. People are catching on now. This is a pretty good article. I'm gonna put that in the description. It's different now. The internet is changing and it's scary. I don't know where we're going to go from here, but it seems like anything related to past offense, I'm sure, would just be gone. Like, that's pretty much what they were targeting. Over time, what I was noticing about YouTube was that over time they kept taking things down that related to all of that. So yeah, that's a lot of information to try to delete. It's not like you're trying to just protect one predator. You're trying to protect a whole slew of people, and they're all connected somehow. And you do that by controlling the information. I'm glad at least Australia cares about child abuse. YouTube doesn't even like you to say the word abuse. Isn't that messed up? Or certain things, like if you expose someone who's up to shady shit, that's either doxing or bullying a predator. Like, they see things all fucked up. But I'm still on here talking trash. I'm just gonna have to deal with looking harder for things. It's always been like this. So I just want to thank all of you. Anybody who gets through the whole video is like a champ, in my opinion, because I know I do go on. Anyway, you guys, thank you for listening to me ramble again. Let's lift up. I'm not mad at this setup. We're a little bit higher. A little bit higher. Look at how big I can make my bun. Oh, wow. My girlfriend would be so jealous of this bun. You know where I always get fucked is I feel like I pet him for too long. And it's like he almost gets mad at you if you pet him for too long and he bites you. I want to catch it on film. That's why I'm like seeing if it'll happen. He just does not care right now. Ooh, look at that bun. Look at that high bun, girl. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you next time.